beginning of the timeline. That's the county there, overlay of the county, with our most historical areas dotted. This is probably the oldest thing left. This is called the Thigpen Trail. It's out on the west side of the county. That was built by the Native Americans. And this is probably the road that our pioneers came in on.
Is that around Wiggum?
No, it's still in our county.
Okay.
Let's see, what is the highway? Highway 202.
Okay.
It's still in our county. See, here's the end of our county right there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's still in our county.
Wow.
Early 1700s, a huge body of soldiers and 1,000 friendly Indians joined in to go into Florida to wipe out the Spanish.
Okay.
So imagine the history. Lots of history. Now that's the air base we were talking about, where the Sunbelt Expo will be, but that was built for the World War II air base. Okay. This is a very historical church, first brick building built in the county out south of town, Old Greenfield Church. The family that built that was from Vermont.
Okay.
Presbyterian. This would fit into this area. That was the last Indian battle, 1836.
Okay.
Now we had already moved in and pushed them into Alabama.
Okay.
So this is just the beginning of the timeline.
Wow.
These are extras that we haven't put away.
Okay. Some old photos.
Oh, extremely. Yep.
Nobody smiled in the photos, neither.
No. I was told that it took a long time, and so they just held a pose that they could retain.
Oh, okay.
Getting that to develop or something, whatever they were doing. So this is room 1. This is the Indian time period.
Wow. Wow. Arrowheads and
this is the configuration of our county at this point. This is 1825. Okay. We weren't Colquitt County yet. We were all Irwin. The areas over in this side of our state, they had developed first, so they had already learned you had to get those territories smaller to be able to organize. So we had not caught on to that yet over here in this area. Now, notice this right in here, that is the last of the Indian territory that was officially theirs. They had already given up all of this. See, all of this was theirs. They had already signed off on this, called the Jackson Treaty, I think.
Wow.
But then we had squeezed them into this little territory, and finally this chief here signed it away. He was
McIntosh.
William McIntosh.
Wow.
And that was for, let me give you a year. That was in 1825, and it was 4,700,000 acres.
Wow.
And they left and were in Alabama. And this is his house. He lived in Forsyth. That's up near Macon. Okay. This house was built in 1823.
Wow.
So that's the William McIntosh house.
Is it still there?
Yep, it is still there.
Do they?
Indian Springs.
Okay, so somebody personally owns and lives in it?
I do not know.
Or is it like a museum, or?
You could probably go tour it. I'm kind of thinking it's for public.
Okay.
But this is the Creek tribe.
Okay.
That was their name.
Well, look at some of the arrowheads. 7,000 years? Wow.
I know. It's unfathomable, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can't imagine it. These items.
These were tools?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Primitive now, remember.
Which one's the hammer?
We're primitive. They had them.
Wow.
They had them.
Oh, look at the seashell.
Yeah, now see, these items were out of a burial mound in Florida.
Oh.
They were fixed. Here's kind of like a hammer, right there.
Okay.
And that was like crashing on grinding.
Maybe grinding corn.
Okay. They were fixing to destroy these mounds down in Florida.
Where is this creek? Little creek. Is it a creek or?
It's in Colquitt County. I do not know, other than maybe on the west side of the county.
That must be where they found all these here.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Okay. Wow.
But the mounds were being destroyed in the 1980s, so that was before the law came out to protect them. You can't do that anymore.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Wow, look at all this.
Pottery.
Is that teeth? No, that's not teeth. That's pottery. I thought it was teeth at first.
Pottery. Now, we will not display human. Human. We were given some. We actually were.
No.
And I had to give them back to the man. And actually, he's the guy that saved these things out of the mounds. And he said, okay, I have decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to another mound, and I'm going to rebury this stuff. Because they were human pieces. There was like a knuckle bone. And I told him, I said, I can't
Accept
do
it.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we do have animal parts. We've got prehistoric animal items over here on this shelf. This is amazingly camel jaw right there, and a camel tooth found in the Flint River. This is over in Albany.
Oh, I didn't know they used camels. I thought they
Over
had horses.
here.
Yeah.
I know. Well, this was so long ago. It's prehistoric.
So they found this jaw in the river also?
Prehistoric times.
Wow.
Now, this was from Florida.
Okay. Wow.
So those are real prehistoric.
Wow.
So, you know, like that would be like your hammer there.
Oh, that's, look at that, pipe and
pipe and axe.
pipe and hatchet. Wow, peace pipe and hatchet.
Together.
Tomahawk, yeah.
Tomahawk.
Wow.
Now, I was told about once the Europeans came over with metal. Now, the Indians didn't know about metal, but that they began cutting up the metal pots and pans for arrowheads rather than chip it from stone.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, they lived in these huts. They didn't live in teepees that you're used to seeing.
So this is a southern Indian dwelling.
Right.
Wow.
Too hot. The weather is just too hot to live in teepees, to be enclosed.
Right.
And another advantage, too, these smart guys, they could take these apart and move them to set up the next village. Once they killed off all the animals in one area, they would have to move to a new area.
Right, right. So these are like skins and...
And items they were already growing. They already had black-eyed peas.
Wow.
And the kidney beans.
Wow.
So
all that stuff's been around for a long
gardening.
time.
They were gardening and farming. Now, we were told that by an anthropologist in Florida that this glass button had to come from one of the DeSoto expedition men. The DeSoto expedition came through in 1539, and I saw that they were following the Ochlockonee. So the Ochlockonee is right here on the west side of our county. Matter of fact, our city almost got built over there because of the stream. But a man from Macon donated some land lottery that he had won here, and that's where Moultrie got started, from his land lot. So we don't know, but we're very proud to have that button. It was found on the on the east side of our county.
Wow.
Possibly from DeSoto's expedition in 1539.
Wow.
We wish we had more proof, like coins and things,
yeah.
but we don't.
Oh, there's an old musket there.
Yes, that is a flint lock. You had to have flint to make that work.
Oh.
Flint, rock.
Yeah.
I have a sample of it here. This is the flint right there. And you had to have it.
And those are the bullets in the middle, right?
And then the bullets. And then you also had to have the powder to pour down the barrel.
My husband actually has a gun that has some of these, and it has the
black powder.
The black powder thing that held the black powder to pour into it, and the gun.
It's like an explosion when those things go off. But this one, you have to have the flint to go up in it. You see that gray piece of rock? It's setting up there, kind of at an angle.
Yep.
And then that item over there, when you pull that trigger, that item that's setting over there like that, it's going to crash into that flint and make that spark. And then that's what's going to explode that black powder.
Wow.
And make this go out at a deadly speed.
Wow.
So the last battle was 1836 in our area. And this is the pioneers arriving.
Is that an original bed?
No,
reconstructed.
Reconstructed.
Okay.
This is probably nicer than they would have had. Because it was just so primitive. This is the style. It has the ropes. It's called the rope bed. Okay. And it has the ropes that's holding it up. And you would have to tighten these occasionally because this would all stretch.
Okay.
So you would have to tighten it occasionally to keep it tight. The quilt here was made by the little lady there. She was born here in 1840. So she made this when she was 20. This was made in 1860. And so many of these rows, she could have left out half of them.
Yeah.
She had 10 children.
Wow. 10 children, could you imagine?
I can't. And having time to make a quilt, not at all.
Right. Wow.
She was the granddaughter of one of our original pioneers that came in 1818. He was given land here because he served in the War of 1812.
Wow.
So this is the Norman family. If you know anyone with the last name Norman.
It's Norman Park.
Norman Park. Yes, that's their town. Yes, that's for sure.
Wow. Now, what's that instrument up there?
Mandolin. You play
mandolin, okay.
Oh, in your lap, and you just kind of pick it. It's a mandolin.
The Beatles use the mandolin in some of their
songs. Most of the time when people ask me what is it, I can't even get it back in my memory.
I just never seen one in person.
Mandolin.
Yeah, wow.
It's really an early piece.
Yeah. I think those were around before, like the fiddles and the banjos.
That's right.
Wow.
And so this one, you sit down and put it in your lap and play it.
Okay.
It kind of sounds like a banjo, really. It's from the family, probably.
Yeah.
But they weren't too anxious to come into this area. We had so many trees. They didn't know how they could make a living. So it took a while to get people to come, and they used all kind of tricks to get them to come here. They practically gave the land away. It was like, very cheap.
Wow.
So in order to figure out how to make a living here, they started out by herding sheep.
Okay.
Herds of sheep.
Wow.
So they had to experiment how to make a living here to survive until those trees were cleared out.
Right, right.
So 1818 is this is the dad with this family. They came in 1818. They are the Normans. They were involved with everything. Now that picture was done in 1905.
Yeah, I see that.
So the seventh brother had already died. This is another brother that would have been in that picture.
So who's the Sarah
This
Jane
lady,
Watson?
We have her picture because that piece of fabric was handmade, string by string, by her. Started from the cotton patch. She made that fabric and also the dye.
Wow, so that was in 1843?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, January 12th, 1843. Wow.
And she's from Durham, the Durham area.
Durham, okay.
Wow. He's also 1818. He came. He helped create about 27 churches. Let's see. This is his house right here in the middle. The center pictures, 3 different views of his house. That is also him and his 3rd wife there with the house. The thing about him now, you noticed I said that is the 3rd wife. By the time he and this 3rd wife finished having children, total, he had 32 children.
Wow.
That's kind of what he's known for in the county.
32 children. Oh my gosh.
He had a separate dorm out back for the boys that is no longer standing there. Now the historical church I was telling you about, that was the first brick building in the county. This is it.
Yeah. Wow.
That is it. South of town, it was also a school. The room section on the left, that was the school room.
Oh, wow.
We've got a class roll from 1861 written by her. She's the preacher's daughter that built it.
Wow.
That's her class roll, 1861.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
This is in the community, a little community called Greenfield.
Okay.
Now, there's nothing out there now, but in their time, it was a community, kind of a booming little community. Her dad not only had the church, he had a bucket and barrel factory and a wool carding factory. They had their general store. It was booming out there, but the church is all that's left. 1943.
Land deeds.
For where the church is.
And what year was it? 1843. Wow. Their deeds were so different.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Wow.
So we were finally. You're seeing that configuration again where we were Irwin County. We were finally cut in half. Thomas and Lowndes was formed, and we were Thomas for a while, and then finally, 1856, we came along as Colquitt.
Okay.
This is Colquitt here. He didn't ever live here either.
Oh my goodness.
We were assigned his name when we finally were created. That's county namesake.
Walter T. Colquitt. Wow. He was born in 1799. Wow. Huh. 2 days after Christmas.
Yay!
I know, right?
And then this is the Moultrie again. You've probably already gotten him.
Yeah.
But the wool production, that's what they were doing in the beginning.
Wow.
And this is covers some of the families here. This will tell you, this shows you the 1840 families
Oh, wow.
Now, we weren't Colquitt yet, but we were the 8th Land District, and that means us. We were Thomas County at this time. But that shows you the families that were
so
here.
So there wasn't really a whole lot.
Like I said, they couldn't hardly make a living unless they were sheep herding. Then 1860, we were created in 1856 as Colquitt County. So 1860 is the first time we hit the federal census as Colquitt County. And so we have all of our families listed here now. 1,363.
Wow.
Had dared to come here into this wilderness.
What? African man
chair. Now that would be setting on the dirt.
Wow.
That is really primitive.
Yes, it is.
You can tell. Primitive.
Yes. Wow.
First sheriff. He was a German.
The first sheriff.
The first sheriff.
He looks like a prospector.
Doesn't he? You're right. He sure does. Let's see. He is Reichert.
Wow. Yeah, he looks like a prospector, like he's out prospecting for gold.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. So after we were made a county, now if you want to get a shot of this is a early post office.
This is the post office.
Post office.
Wow, could you imagine?
No.
There wasn't very many.
No security at all.
Right.
And you could just you would have to look through everybody's
to find
mail
yours.
to find yours. Anyone with the same spelling, alphabetical.
Okay, so any A's were just thrown all in the A's
together.
Oh gosh, that would be a pain in the rear.
And look at their little writing tablets. So primitive. Little writing tablets.
Wow. Wow.
Look at that tiny little one right there.
Oh my gosh.
And then these are stamps where you would put your...
Yeah.
And this is your ink. See the fountain pen?
Oh, yeah.
Ink pens. Dip it in your ink right there.
Wow.
Traveling kit.
Wow.
They thought of everything.
Yes, they did.
Now this is the first war we organized for, other than the militia groups that were protecting us from the Native Americans. We had to organize. Now, I have to warn people, you've never heard the Southern version. The Southern version is shut down. So we have all just been brainwashed with this propaganda. And when I was in elementary school, I could tell it was the other version, the enemy version. I said, I don't think I'm going to believe that. I've done my own research. So I have for many years. This was a reminder by our Southerners to the federal government that, hey, you're not following the laws that our founding fathers organized our country to be.
Is there something blowing on that over there? There a
See
blower?
That vent?
Oh, okay.
No, it's just so special.
Well, it kind of made me stop. Like, what the heck?
I'm surprised.
I'm like,
you noticed it.
What's over there? Okay.
But they will
I notice everything.
Apparently. you.